The light had been gone for years. Not once did the sun veer over the sky. Not once did the fire light the nights, hence the flame was never lit. Fireflies give them hope that one day they would not remain in the dark. But on this particular day, the fireflies were not the only thing to light the night. On this night, the winds howled through the cracks of the sanctuary's doors, and the droplets of the sky screamed on the rooftops. The Demetrio family was gathered in the mead room, while Henry and Alina Demetrio nestled in the nursery. Along with the howling winds, the cries of pain and suffering arose from the room. But suddenly, they stopped. Arose was the cry of a baby. After cleaning her with blessed water, Henry rested his daughter on his knee. The baby shined more than anyone in the room. Her energy floated amongst them and into the hearts of her family, while her eyes told that she had much wisdom at such a given age.
We shall call you Pandora, since Zeus has blessed me with a crown.
He smiles and gives the child back to her mother. Years later, the winds howled once more, and the rain poured and poured. Pandora, much in her adult years, sits in her bedroom, consulting with her thoughts. She is alone, hence her family has either moved on with life or passed on to nirvana, the afterlife. She never thought that she would spend her birthday alone. This year, though, feels different to her.
Zeus, what do you have planned?
She asks herself. A strike of lightning hit a nearby tree, making it plummet to the wet ground. Unknown of this, Pandora rises from her bed and peers out the window. Seeing nothing, she slips on her evening clothes and ventures outside. Down the slick pathway, she spots the tree along with an object that glows in the darkness of the tree. Fireflies surround Pandora as if trying to protect her from the night's tenebrosity. As she approaches, the glow of the object fades and forms in a picture of a locket. Attached to the said locket is a note. She picks up the necklace and feels the same power she felt on the night she was born. The note states,
My dear Pandora, you are made of many gifts that you do not know of nor you can speak of. On this night years ago, you had been born. Little did you know you have potential in life. Unlike any human, you have the power to do as you please. You are the new light a man stole from us many decades ago. Knowing this, I wish you to harness your powers and use them to protect the humans from him. The necklace I have given you, Pandora, harnesses many secrets to which you cannot know until you join us in Nirvana. But until that time comes, please keep the locket with you at all times. Do not take it off. Do not open it. And finally, protect yourself. With much love, Zeus.
Shocked, she wraps the blue locket around her neck and walks post-haste to her sanctuary. She burns the note and rests back into bed. Soon enough, she drifts to sleep. In the morning, she awakens from her chamber to the mead room. She makes her breakfast and sits. After finishing this, she cleans up and dresses for the night. Pandora grabs her messenger bag and jar of fireflies. She stops by the mirror before going out to the woods to town. Her eyes slowly glare down to her necklace. The blue locket contains its own galaxy as it swirls with stars.
I want to open it,
she whispers to herself. But she shrugs herself off instead and goes into town. She sits in the park and watches people. Their expression on their faces and their reactions toward each other fancies Pandora. She takes out a notebook and writes what she sees. Then she remembers what her mission really was and continues to focus on people. Soon enough, a man approaches her and gives her an apple. Then he walks away. Looking down at her scribbled notes, Pandora takes notice of the man. He had brown, shaggy hair, rich clothing to signify he is of high class, and brown, deep eyes. She had written this entry while people watching before she even met the man. She was also craving an apple. With more training, she eventually gained new friends, Astrea and Adrian. Astrea met Pandora on a hunting trip. Pandora was focusing her powers on animals so she could have said otherwise. Astrea was influenced by Pandora's powers, and they became friends. Adrian was the boy who gave Pandora an apple at the park. She went to the park every day, wanting to see him more. She craved his knowledge, and he gave it.
It's getting close to your birthday again. Do you have any plans?
Astrea mentioned to Pandora. They met in the village square as always to meet before they go hunting.
just sit around fireflies and wallow in my thoughts.
We should celebrate. Let's go out adventuring with Adrian. It will be special.
It always rains on my birthday. We can't.
Estrella gives Pandora a glare.
Don't you try using your powers to trick me into thinking we can't do anything for your birthday. We're going out and that's final.
Adrian approaches with some apples and gives them out to the ladies. He takes a bite out of his apple and then shakes out of his state.
Every single time. One day, I'm going to run out of coins and you won't be able to get your damn apples.
Well, when that day comes, that'll be your problem, not mine.
Pandora giggles.
We're all going out for Pandora's birthday. Clear your schedule, Adrian.
He rolls his eyes.
Fine.
They finish their food and walk around the town's market. They chat about their weekends and their wonders about the world. Pandora continues to harness her powers on others for kindness between each other. Days passed. It is cold, dark, and raining again. Pandora's sanctuary is lit with many fireflies while the droplets pitter-patter upon her roof. She dresses warm and covers herself with water protection. She veers out her window to see the tree fall into the ground still. The grass had overgrown upon the bark. The marks of the lightning strike are carved into the wood. Pandora lays her finger upon the surface of the locket. The metal rim is carved with many engravings in some type of language unknown to her kind. In the center, the blue gem swirls with tiny galaxies in it. Pandora notices that there is a small latch on the side of the locket. Going to open it, she stops herself when she hears a knock on the door. Estrella enters with a couple of lamps full of fireflies. Adrian follows.
Let's go, Pandora. We have a surprise to take you to.
Pandora grabs her pack and leaves. Upon the walk towards the town, Pandora's eyes wander among the woods. The hue of the fireflies only portray the shadows of her friends and the formation of others in the distance. Not once has Pandora gone out on her birthday, especially on a rainy day like this. Nearing the entrance of the town, Pandora becomes queasy. She feels off about her adventure. Soon enough, a crackle of sticks is heard from a distance. She breathes heavily.
Guys, what was that?
It's probably a deer, Pandora. Nothing to worry about.
Estrella continues to walk.
I feel something different. That couldn't be a deer.
Pandora creeps towards the noise. As she gets closer, a silhouette of a man forms. As he comes closer, she starts to notice his features. Soaked, curly hair, beard. His clothes say he's an average traveler. His eyes, a tone of dark browns and reds, pierce through her. Pandora is very intrigued by this man.
Hello, Pandora.
He smiles.
I've come a long way to see you.
His deep voice lures Pandora to this man even more.
How do you know my name?
In a curious state, she is confused. She feels she is not in control of herself anymore.
Zeus sent me for your protection and to help you harness your powers.
Pandora tries to read through his mind. No matter what feeling she is trying to make him perceive, her thoughts become clouded like a blocked wall.
Excuse me, but I have to get back to my friends. Good day, sir.
He grabs her hand. The warmth of his skin is unlike any other she has felt.
I'm here to help, not harm.
Convinced, she snags her hand away from him. Estrella and Adrian soon follow behind.
My name is Prometheus, son of the Titan Lapidus.
Estrella intervenes Pandora's glance and pulls her behind her.
Prometheus, and what are your intentions exactly?
Pandora squeezes Estrella's arm.
Never mind. We will talk later when it's not pouring like the gods are crying. Let's just go.
Pandora's glance matches with Prometheus. Soon after, she feels her thoughts are clouded again and mentions that she is not feeling well.
I'm going home. I appreciate the gesture for taking me outside my sanctuary, but I really need some rest. The rain isn't helping either.
After Pandora mentions her goodbyes, she walks on her pathway to home. Prometheus follows beside her. Soon later, they arrive at her sanctuary. Pandora lets him in and gets changed into her evening gown. She places a couple of jars of fireflies in the meat room and prepares to cook some meat.
You know, fireflies don't last forever. Would you want to see what it does?
Dicing the meat, she looks over, clenching the knife. He takes a plank of wood from his backpack. A piece of cloth hangs from it. Seemingly, it looks like it was soaked from the rain. With a snap of his fingers, the wood glows with immense light and heat. Pandora walks away from her cooking, knife in hand. She approaches the glow with caution and reaches out for it. The warmth rises upon her hand, similar to when her hand interlocked with Prometheus.
What is it called?
She asks. Her mind becomes clouded.
Fire. It was a gift from the gods.
He hesitates. Pandora looks at him, almost to question his hesitation, but her mind becomes clouded once more and she reaches for the fire. It burns her skin. She winces and cries in pain, dropping the knife onto the floor. Prometheus runs to the sink and turns on her faucet, soaking a rag. He wraps her hand in the coldness and she breathes heavily.
Thing is, you can't touch it. Only I can. I have the power to control the fire. I plan on giving it to the humans and get rid of this wretched darkness. You okay?
I'll be fine. Just leave.
Pandora unwraps her hand and starts for her bedroom.
Get some rest. I will meet you in the morning.
Pandora awakens in her bedroom. She glances at her hand. A lightning bolt scar appears on her palm from the fire last night. She gets dressed and studies her locket.
I want to open you someday.
She whispers to herself. A knock arises on her door. She goes to open and sees Prometheus.
Good morning.
Are you ready to go to the town today?
Yes. Is there anything we are going to do today?
Nope. I'm just your personal bodyguard.
They venture off into the square. Pandora focuses on her powers when sitting in the center. She feels Prometheus's eyes burning through her, or yet burning through her necklace.
You know, you don't have to keep doing that. I know you are staring at the locket. No, I never opened it, and I am not doing it here. It was a gift from Zeus.
Prometheus contorts his face.
I know you've been waiting to open it. Did you know it could also enhance your powers?
Pandora tries once more to control his mind, but her senses are fogged.
No, I didn't even have powers until Zeus told me.
You should open it.
You should shut up.
He laughs.
What are your friends up to? Would you listen to them?
He glares out into the crowd. Estrella and Adrian approach Pandora. Anger rises in her and glances at him.
Oh, what? That was just a coincidence.
Estrella grabs Pandora's necklace and runs her fingers across it.
Me and Adrian wanted to know. After all these years, where did you get this kind of locket? Was it your mother's?
Pandora slaps Estrella's hand away.
No, and you were never interested. Why? Why now?
She turns to Prometheus.
Coincidence much?
She smacks him in the chest, her mind still clogged. She forgives him with the influence of his eyes.
No, my love. Just a coincidence.
He smiles dearly at Pandora. She looks away blushing. Soon enough, she reaches for the locket.
Fine, I'll open it.
Estrella and Adrian sit next to her. Her fingers find her way to the latch, and she pries it open. Once the locket opens, the darkness of the town hovers more. The fireflies have gone out. Pouring out of her locket, shadow people immerse and merge with the township civilians. Hell was released through the small bars of the necklace. Pandora immediately closes her locket and notices the terror in the town. Children are stealing jars of fireflies and releasing them to the wild. Men are beating their own wives out of an act of vengeance. Many innocent children and people are running amok of horror. Estrella and Adrian hold hands and glance at the horror. Estrella turns to Pandora. Distressed, she states,
Look what you have done! This town was so innocent! And now all the evils in the world have broken loose because of your damn locket. We should have never trusted you.
She cries and runs down the street. Adrian shortly follows. Pandora becomes boiling with anger. On this day, even though it is not another year of age for Pandora, the skies cried with anger and sadness. They poured all around the township. Prometheus rises from his seat and lights a straw roof on fire. The rain and fire battle amongst each other like ice versus heat. He laughs at the sight of it.
Oh, my love, how you've been fooled.
She chuckles.
Fooled. No wonder I could see in your mind's eye. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. But fool me a third time, death upon you.
She reaches into her pack, pulling out a golden knife. Astonished, Prometheus stands back. His hands are lit once more with the flames from the gods. The heat not even grazing his hands. Pandora launches herself towards Prometheus. His hands move the slightest over her body, and she jabs the golden knife into his chest, killing the beast. Pandora jabs the knife once again into Prometheus and stands against the droplets. They simmer her flames, and she jags the knife into his chest one more time, leaving it in the town square for all to see.
The devil would always be in the form of an angel. Nevermore.
She then carries herself back to her cottage. Years later, Pandora still obtains the necklace. The night of the horrible tragedy, she places it in a lockbox that no one could ever open, and she waits until she can be in nirvana again. To this day, she can still hear the faint screams of that night. Her memories flash back to the golden knife piercing Prometheus's heart. She never rested, for she knows she was the one who brought evil to this world. And every night she says to herself,
The devil was always in the form of an angel. Nevermore shall I fall in love again.